नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु शक्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु विद्यारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु शान्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः
Namaskar. In the previous class, we have discussed paragraph 1 from chapter The Four Heads. Today we will discuss about the second paragraph, and it starts from the first instrument, that is the Sastra, or we can say the important books or the knowledge about the truth necessary for the integral yoga. So basically Sri Aurobindo is explaining that the knowledge is just like a board, just like a lotus board which is closed and folded up within us. When the sun rises, at that time the lotus pod gradually blossom, just like petal by petal. So like this, the knowledge is within us, the eternal knowledge is within us, and it will often gradually. In few peoples it may open very swiftly, or in few peoples it may open gradually, petal by petal. It takes time for the opening of the bud. So this is the one part about the knowledge, and the very important thing Sri Aurobindo is telling here that all of us, in whatever religion it may be, there is an important book, and they called it that this is the a great book of our religion, and everyone should follow it or should read it for the higher life or for the yogic life. So everybody thinks that this book or that book is just like a supreme Sastra. But if we see the Sri Aurobindo's view here, he is telling that in our integral yoga there is no such books which we will call the supreme Sastra. So what is the supreme Sastra of the integral yoga? If it is not a book written by Sri Aurobindo also, then what is the book which we call the supreme Sastra? And many of us also telling that this book is very important, that book is very important, that one is very necessary. We are telling that, but Sri Aurobindo is telling here that the supreme Sastra of the integral yoga, in our integral yoga, the supreme Sastra is not a book, it is an eternal Veda. A eternal Veda, that means an infinite, an eternal, that means it from the beginning till the end, it is there, and it is not in a form of the book, it is an eternal Veda. And where it resides into our hearts. It is an eternal Veda secret in the heart of every thinking and living being. What's a powerful sentence Sri Aurobindo is giving here, that in every thinking and living beings, that means in all human beings, the supreme Sastra of the integral yoga, that is the eternal Veda, is situated inside their heart, or it resides into their hearts. And how it is there is just like a lotus board which is closed and folded off within their hearts. So this is the most important thing of this paragraph. Again, he is telling that just like the opening of the board, the knowledge inside us will open gradually or swiftly. In few peoples, the knowledge will open very swiftly in their lifetime, and in many peoples the inside knowledge will not open, or it open very gradually, one by one, very slowly. It takes time throughout their lifetime. So the very important thing for us, that how the eternal knowledge will open very swiftly, because our purpose is to go towards our journey with a very high speed. Or when we enter the yogic path, that means we have entered a very swift and passionate way towards our realization or towards our goal. So the very important thing that we must remember, that how this knowledge will open very swiftly. And Sri Aurobindo is telling here that once the mind of man being turned towards the eternal, our mind is always busy in the very lower things, just like for earning money and to have a house and have many material objects, which have, if we think that it has no value at all, because everything will be vanish, and one day we will also vanish, and whatever we have earned, we are not going to take with us, but our whole life will spend on this type of thing, this type of lower things, and we are not thinking about the divine. Our mind is not turned towards the divine. So how the knowledge will open? The first thing for this for the opening of the knowledge is that our mind must turn towards the eternal. So first part is our mind, which must turn towards the eternal. The second one is our heart. If we think of our heart, then there are many feelings inside us which are very lower. We have feelings for them to whom we are egoistically attached. I am going to tell just like a story, that in a place one discussions are going on, and at that time many mothers are sitting. So somebody came and told that one boy wearing such yellow or red type of t-shirt, he just came in front of a car. So one mother stand up very eagerly, and he cried that that might be my child, because my child have wear a white or that yellow t-shirt. So he ran away, and while seeing that yes, it is true that the child is wearing a yellow t-shirt, but he is not her child. So immediately he just relaxed and tell, oh, it is not my child. So all the feelings, all the emotions, all the attachment are not for a small child, but for a child to whom she is attached. So like this, our feelings, our heart feelings are very egoistic. In our world, in our earth, many are suffering, but we never pray for them. Our rishis told us every time that Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, but that kind of feelings are not inside us. We never pray to the divine for the world. We always praying for ourselves. So how this type of heart means where only the egoistic feelings are there, how it will open that board of that knowledge? So Sri Aurobindo is telling, once his heart no longer compressed and confined by the attachment to finite appearances, becomes enamored in whatever degree of the infinite. In whatever degree of the infinite. That means our heart and mind will turn towards the infinite. And it depends on the degree of turning to the amount of opening of the knowledge. If we turn more, then our knowledge or the knowledge is just like a board which is inside our heart will open swiftly or gradually, depends on on the degree of turning towards the eternal. So it is very important that our mind must turn towards the eternal, and our heart will not compressed and confined by the finite appearances, this very lower kind of feelings, very egoistic kinds of feelings. Once it will overcome this type of feelings, and our mind will turn towards the eternal, then the knowledge gradually will open inside us. All life, all thought, all energizing of the faculties, all experiences, passive or active, becomes thenceforward so many shocks which disintegrate the tegument of the soul and remove the obstacles to the inevitable efflorescence. Once we will do that, means by that opening of our mind and our heart, then every thought, every faculty, every experiences in our lives will face many shocks. That means many type of unwanted situations may arrive into our life, but which helps to disintegrate the tegument of the soul, and it will remove the obstacles in our path, and we can go very nicely towards our goal, towards our aim. So those who have chosen this path, the divine has chosen before. So this is the very important thing, that when we are thinking that we have chosen the mother and Sri Aurobindo, but it is not true. Mother and Sri Aurobindo has selected us for her great path. Mother has selected us. So first he or she has selected us. So Srindra is telling a very important sentence: he who chooses the infinite has been chosen by the infinite. So those who are choosing the infinite, they have been chosen by the infinite before. He has received the divine touch. That means if we are coming to the divine, that means we have received a touch in our life, in any moment in our life, in any situation in our life, we must have received a divine touch. If we remember or not, that is not important, but we have received the divine touch in our life. Without that receiving, without that touch, there is no awakening, no opening of the spirit. So it is very, very, very important thing that we all have received a divine touch, so that we are in this path. And we should not forget that divine touch in our lives, because without that touch, there will be no opening, no opening, no awakening. But the thing is that, but once it is received, attainment is sure. So here Sri Aurobindo is telling, once it is received, that means once somebody have received the divine touch, he will surely reach to his goal. But whether conquered swiftly in the course of one human life, it may come in one human life, or pursued patiently through many stadia of the cycle of existence in the manifested universe. Again the time factor come here, that it may come in one lifetime, or it may take many lifetimes in the stadia of the cycles of manifested universe. So time may vary for different people, but if we receive the divine touch, if we have got the divine touch, then attainment is sure. So this is a very important paragraph, and small paragraph, but very important sentences are there. He who chooses the infinite has been chosen by the infinite. The supreme Sastra of the integral yoga is the eternal Veda, not any books. And the eternal Veda is secret in secret in the heart of every human being or every thinking and living being. And it's just like a lotus board, closed and folded up. It will open gradually, it will open swiftly or gradually, depending on the amount of our turning towards the divine. So we must remember that our mind must turn towards the eternal, and we must overcome our lower feelings, and we must feel the divine inside our life, inside our heart. So this is the very important thing, and I think that we must read it carefully and follow these things dictated by Sri Aurobindo. So today we'll stop here because the paragraph is complete. Thank you to all of you. Namaskar.